on the Zoom call, if you have a question, you're muted now, but you can just click the little microphone on your bottom left-hand corner and it will unmute you, so you can ask your question. At any point this time, if you guys have a question, please feel free to raise your hand. We'll just start answering as we go along. We won't wait till the very end. I kind of want to get an idea of everybody's level of where they're at. So if you know your Keller Williams username and password, is that everyone? Everyone knows their user ID, password, what you get on MyQW. Okay, perfect. Well, that's step one. And that's a question I was going to ask. So what we're going to cover today is basically whenever you receive a lead, you have to enter them as a contact. When you put them in as an opportunity, saying that they're ready to start buying or selling, and moving them through that pipeline. So I know a lot of you have computers, so if you have a transaction that you are either starting or have one going on, you can go ahead and start entering that on and kind of playing around as we go through. Okay. Also, I apologize, I caught my neck out of place this morning. So if I look like turn a little weird, it's just because of that. So it's okay. So command, that is at agent.kw.com, and this is what your home screen will look like. So again, the email address or the web address is agent.kw.com. So you will use your Keller Williams username, your ID, and your password to log in. And this is what your home screen will look like. So for right now, whenever you start creating tasks for your work week or someone on your team assigns tasks, this will pop up on your main screen. And then it will also push through your Kelly app. So if all of you haven't downloaded Kelly, strongly recommend it. App Store, Kelly, K-E-L-L-E. And basically your Kelly app will talk to Command that will eventually talk to the consumer app you share with all of your clients. So, okay, how many of you have contacts in Command? Good, okay, great. If you're using a previous CRM, you're able to import those contacts over. So if you were using Top Producer, or you can even pull your contact information in through Dotloop, you can pull that into Command for that. And so what you'll do is where your name is, you'll just click on your name and go to settings. And whenever you scroll down, these are all the applications you can connect. So I've already connected my DocuSign account. If I want to connect my Google Calendar, my Gmail, any social media sites I may have. If I was using eEdge, I can connect it to eEdge. But any sort of non-Keller Williams program that you need to connect, you just click Connect Account here through PySync. And it has over 150 applications that you can pull that contact information from. So if you have an iCloud or if you use another CRM, you can type it up here. And all the ones that are supported are right here that you can connect through. We also pay for a company, Scott Leroy Marketing. They help us do a lot of other tasks within the Market Center, but they're able to help you import your contacts in from whatever CRM you basically have for the most part, or that's linked to this, and they can do it for free. So if you're interested in them helping you, you just email support@scottleroymarketing.com, and they will help get those contacts in. Now I will say, just because they're helping you get your contacts in doesn't mean it's carrying all the information over that you may have in those CRMs. It may be some information here or there, but it's not going to be everything most likely. So just be prepared, you may have to do some database cleanup. So once you get contacts in, you want to look at on your home screen of Command is at the very bottom, you have a database health score. So this is showing me out of all of my contacts that I've entered into Command, I have a health score of 57.9%. So 94.9% of my contacts have a phone number, 94 have an email, but I don't have any addresses. So this is a great opportunity for you to call back, connect with your clients, and get updated information from them. So if I'm wanting to add a single contact in, over on the left-hand side of my screen with the two little people, I will hit contacts. And then, let me move this so people can see it. At the very top right, there's an add a contact button. So whenever I'm adding a contact, the only information I need when I add a contact is just their name. So if I don't know their phone number and I don't know their email right now, that's okay. So I can just create one, so this full Piazzo. And if I know their information, I can enter it in. If I want to give them a custom tag, so right now they already have some generic custom tags in there. So if they're an agent or if they're a vendor partner or they bought from you, they're a buyer, they're a seller, downline, you can click these. If I want to say she's with KW, I can click here. If I met her at family reunion, I can click here. Or if I want to create my own. So if I met them in a BNI group, I can put them here. Or if they're my sphere of influence, I can put them here and just create a custom tag that says sphere, and I'll give them a certain color and add it through. And so now she's sphere that's in a color coded. So you have the capabilities of doing that. More information through there. If you have any additional contact information, what their preferred method of contact is, email, phone, text, do not contact, that's also an option. Any addresses, social profiles, and you can go through and enter all this information about them and save them into your database. But the minimum information you need is their name. That's all you need. So those of you that have already added contacts into your command, what are some cool things you've learned, or what are some pain points that other people may need to know when they're doing it right now? Does anybody have any of that? Yeah, Carol?
I have had issues with email addresses.
Okay. Transferring over or entering them in?
Entering them in new.
Okay.
And I think I've heard that if somebody else has that email address anywhere in command, you cannot add it.
Really?
So I don't know if that's what the issue is, but I've actually had to put it out in the notes section. Because it keeps telling me it's an invalid address.
Okay, that's great feedback. I have not heard that. So, that's great feedback. I'll have to look into that. So just kind of be aware. Yes, Amy?
Well, and I've noticed at times when I go to add something, sometimes command's just a little bit slow, and I'll go back in later and it'll let me add it. So you might just try going back, because like addresses, how they're supposed to populate as you're typing them. Sometimes it'll say, you know, that I can't find it, add manually, and then it won't let me add it.
Okay.
And then if I wait a little bit, I come back, eventually I can add it.
Okay. Good
Might just
feedback.
be a
Yeah, girls. Tani?
I like whenever you go to create an opportunity, it auto-populates the spouse's name if you have them
Linked
linked
together.
together. Because you could add them as their spouse when you're adding them as a contact, and then you create the opportunity. If you need to add like a code, whoever's on there, it'll auto-populate it.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. Natalie, did you have something to
I just had like some input on the email address. When I tried to put emails into Edge in the past, if there's a space for the email or behind it by accident, it'll say it's invalid.
Okay.
You just double check that it doesn't have a space in it. Done that to me lots of times.
Awesome. Great feedback. One point to that, whenever you're using command, I don't care what browser you use. However, I have found a lot more success when you use Google Chrome. So I've had multiple people saying they're not able to use command in certain aspects, but when they switch over to Google Chrome, it works. If you're having issues with Google Chrome, if you go to incognito mode on Google Chrome, sometimes that fixes it as well. So to go to incognito mode on your top right-hand corner, where there should be 3 dots. If you go to incognito mode, this is where you click on it, and that's also success I found. It's
Just for PCs, we can type incognito mode on it.
if you do have Google Chrome downloaded as the web
Yeah, you may do that. You can go shift.
command,
I should
if
do
you
it.
click command shift in, it will help you.
In.
Yep.
And it's
Yes. So yes, so when in doubt, if it's not working, try Google Chrome. When in doubt, if Google Chrome's not working, try incognito mode on Google Chrome. So great feedback, guys. So that's basically how you can add a contact. If you want to import a large group, say a lot of agents didn't use a CRM leading up to this, a database manager. So they just had it either through their phone, which you can connect to here, or they just had it in an Excel spreadsheet. You can click import up here, and you can download your CSV file right through here, and it will upload it for you. But I recommend, if this is not in your 20%, email Scott Leroy, they'll do it for free. So super easy, and I've had great feedback from everyone that's used them. Okay, so now that I've added a contact, say Carrie Prater is my contact in here, I can then create an opportunity for him through this, or I can go and start creating an opportunity another way. So As you can see, I've created a lot of test opportunities with him. But if you click create opportunity right here, it will open up all the information you entered about him to create an opportunity. Also, if you do not access it this way, if you go over here on the left-hand side with the hands holding, it's opportunities right here. Yep, shaking hands. Yes, thank you. Hand holding, same thing, you know. Everyone love everyone. Okay, so a couple things. If you are on a team, before you click on anything on your home screen, right up here, there will be a button to select your team. Make sure you select that button before you move forward. If you're an individual agent, it's okay. Some teams,
I'm sorry.
right up here in the top, you should have a box that says select your team. Some people do not, even if they're on a team and they're working on fixing that bug. So, but if you do have that option, make sure you click on it. So this is an opportunity screen. So this is your sales pipeline. You're able to see a snapshot of your business that are listings and that are buyers. Also, if you do leases here, it's at the bottom. So each of these parts of the sales pipeline are called phases. So cultivate, appointment, active, under contract, and close. These are all phases that are in your sales pipeline. Over here on the right-hand side, you can see potential income. So potential income means if you've closed everything on your sales pipeline, that's how much GCI you could potentially make. Now, as you move transactions or opportunities down the sales pipeline, the farther you get down, the higher probability that those transactions are going to close. So then that is going to be your probable income. So of all the GCI I've entered, I could potentially make $27,900. I have 5 opportunities that in the under contract phase. Therefore, that means my probability is higher of closing them. So my probable income is $19,590. As you go through these sales pipeline, your conversion rates will change based on as you enter more into it. Also, you'll be able to compare your conversion rates to other agents within Keller Williams as well. So it's really cool. Also, you're able to see if your average time. So if my average time that an opportunity is in the cultivate phase is 10.3 days. And as you move them through, it will adjust as well. Can you guys see the screen back there?
Yes.
Okay, it looks a little dark to me, so I was just curious. Okay, perfect. So let's create an opportunity. So in creating opportunity, you only have to enter the stuff that has asterisks next to it. So my market center is Greater Springfield. If I was on a team, I would select my team name. The opportunity type, is this a listing or is this a buyer? So I can select one of those. Since I'm creating an opportunity, I'm the owner. Now, if you're a rainmaker on a team, they will be the owner when they create the opportunity. And then it's going to ask who my client is. So since I have them added in my contacts, I can pull them through. If I don't have my contacts entered and I'm trying to create an opportunity for this person, I cannot do it. I at least have to go and enter their name into contacts. That's one step you have to do. So if I'm saying my client is Nicole, it's going to ask me if there's a co-seller on there. Then it's going to default to the opportunity name. So it's automatically going to default to their last name dash if it's a listing or a buyer. What I'm asking you to do is to at least put the property address on there for the opportunity name. So you can leave it 1234 Main Street, Migliazzo dash listing. You can do 1234 Main Street, whatever the property address is. Similar to dotloop, how we search for your loops based on address. This is how we're going to search for your opportunities when we get your closing checks. So if I wanted to leave it like that, but I needed to add the address, I can leave it just like that, and that's fine. As long as the address is in there, we're able to associate it. I've had great conversations with agents. Sometimes they don't remember what that property address was of their clients that they recently closed or maybe 6 months ago. So as long as they can also identify it by last name, that helps them trigger the memory as well. So that's a great tool that you can filter through. If I wanted to add any custom tags, I could. So if she's in my top 100 or in my sphere of influence, I can put it there. But again, I don't have to because it doesn't have an asterisk by it. I don't know my close date. I don't know my estimated list price potentially. I just know that they're maybe looking to buy or sell. I would put my commission rate. So if we don't know what it's going to be at the very end, just go ahead and put 3. So you all deserve 3. You know, let me know why you don't think you deserve it. And then it's going to ask you what phase is this in. So when I've met Nicole, is she looking to buy in the next 6 to 9 months? Am I about to schedule an appointment with her to go look at her house, potentially list it? Or is she ready to put her house on the market? You can't create an opportunity and directly put it under contract. You can't, it's prohibiting you from delaying your entry because there's a lot of documents you have to get signed and then approved for compliance. So this is trying to help you start putting it in there sooner so you can track your numbers better. So, but if she was ready to go active, I could go ahead and click active and I would create my opportunity. So here's my Nicole Gliazzo 1234 Main Street opportunity for a listing. If at any point in time, as I know more information about this transaction, I can click this pencil right here and I'm able to go back through and update it. So if I know the sales price, or say I know when my close date is going to be, or when we estimate to close, I can enter all that information in. So if I know my sales price, potentially it's going to be $250,000, I can save that and it will update for me. So there's all that information. If I want to create a seller worksheet of what percentage I'm going to give my buyer's agent, if they have a mortgage, HOA dues, I can put all that in there and do a comparison offer for them as well. So when you have transactions in .loop and you created a green sheet, we then took it and put it in our system and created a DA number for you that associates your transaction in our system. Eventually, those DA numbers will be replaced and they will be known as opportunity IDs. And this is what your opportunity ID is right here. So whenever you submit compliance, it's going to associate this file with this ID. So 0369, that's our office number, is 369. We're the 369th Market Center within Keller Williams. And then this is your transaction ID similar to a DA number. So just so you guys know. Back to our sales pipeline. Now that I've entered this listing in, if I click the active phase, then here's my listing right here. So within each of these phases, if you haven't went in and done a lot of customization, they already have generic stages within each phase. So whenever I have an active listing, I have 2 stages available, staging photos and an active stage. There are other ones for appointment is scheduled, listing appointment kept, under contract, they have cleared close, financing, appraisal, all of that. You can make this as complex or as simple as you want. Some teams are like, I have a checklist every time it goes active, and that's all I care about, as long as I get a checklist and the listing goes active. Other people, they want it so detailed, especially if they're on a larger team, they can see where each of these transactions are at. So if I want to edit this, and I want my active, and I want to get more detailed, I can edit stages up here, and I'm able to edit my stages. So if I didn't want staging photos anymore, I could click this trash can, and it would go away. And I just have my active stage. Or if I wanted to create a stage that said, signed listing paperwork, whatever it may be, I can save it, and now it's here. But if I want this ahead of this one, I can just drag and drop. So if any of you have ever used Trello boards for like task management, this is just like Trello, where you can drag and drop, super user friendly. If I want to add a checklist within each of these stages, I'm able to add a checklist right here. So under this, if I wanted to say, send listing paperwork to EA, my assistant, I would just hit save. So every time I had an opportunity that went under this stage, this checklist would pop up for all of them. So most teams or most individual people I know, they just want to have one stage. So when a listing goes active, they have a checklist of like 20 items. And that's how they want to track it. That's okay. It's whatever you would like to do. If you're on a team and you have these checklists, each time a opportunity receives that part of the checklist, you can then assign those specific items to team members and set due dates. So whenever you go to your home screen and you look at your task manager, it will tell you all of the tasks that you have for that day, including those assigned to you in those opportunities. Also through your Kelly, I believe every morning at 9 a.m. it pushes notifications to your phone letting you know what you have scheduled for that day. So it's really cool. So back in my opportunities, if I have an active listing and then we decide we're ready to go under contract, I can just drag and drop it right here and it will go to under contract. So when I click it, it pops up here. Well, here's all of mine. Or if I'm at the appointment and they decide, nope, I'm not ready now after the appointment, you can move them back to the cultivate stage and that's where they would stay. So you can just drag and drop. If this board view is not your favorite, you can click list view up here at the top, and it will list all of your opportunities this way. And again, you can just drag and drop and place them wherever you would like. So again, it's a personal preference of what you prefer. So whenever I'm under my specific opportunity, I have all these tabs at the top. So my documents tab is where all of the compliance is going to take place. So previously, when we have used Dotloop, Dotloop has been our compliance, our forms, our e-signatures, basically every aspect of that side of the business. And then you had your own CRM, and you had something else, and you had something else over here. All of this is going to be all in one. So right now, as you know, Dotloop is going away September 15th. By saying it's going away, you're no longer able to create new loops. All the loops you already have created, you're still able to go in, add documents, get signatures, add folders, do whatever you need to. You just can't create anything new. We have been told that the forms will be in DocuSign by the 15th. Well, I found out the other day they potentially may not be. So we're working on a workaround of potentially contracting Dotloop out for another 3 months before this transition happens. What I also recommend all of you do is create dummy loops in Dotloop. So as a market center side, we use Dotloop to onboard new agents that come to the office. So what we're doing is we're creating test 1, test 2, test 3. We're creating 75 big loops. So whenever people come in, we can just rename those loops, and it has all of the documents in there we need. So I would go ahead and recommend to you, if you have time, if however many transactions you think you may close to the end of the year, go ahead and create all those test loops. And just as you get them, when your new transactions come through, you can rename them and use them. That's kind of a safety net for, as we know, this transition is going to happen. So eventually, whenever DocuSign, State of Missouri, and KWRI can all come to an agreement, all of your forms will lie in DocuSign. So some of you, have all of you synced your DocuSign accounts yet?
I just did it.
You just did today? Okay. So I posted a video on the internal page on how to do it. But basically, you're going to go to your name and go to Settings. And there should be a button that says Connect Account. What that's going to do is going to send a email to whatever email you have on file. You're able to put that in, and you'll register. You'll enter your email and create a password, and that will set up your account. Once you've received confirmation of that, you'll just come back to this main screen and click Activate Account, and it will sync together. Yes, Dan?
So do I have to get a DocuSign again?
You will through command.
Huh?
You will through command, yes.
Through command, but I may have to set up one individually and totally.
No, you just go to your settings in command and just click create account here, and it will connect it that way. And you'll just use your, you'll use your Keller Williams email.
I already
And
have a DocuSign account.
you do, you just have to go in and activate it and then connect it.
Oh,
Yep. And again, a DocuSign account is not extra, it's all included in your technology fee. So, but there is a video on the internal page that I posted, and if you guys need help later on, I can totally help you connect those accounts. If you have issues with getting your account connected, let me know. I've come across that for a couple of people. Again, try to use Google Chrome before you connect it. So, and then once it's connected, it will say connected right here for you. So if I'm in my opportunity and I'm ready to start doing some of my paperwork, I'll open up this specific opportunity, click on Documents. So over here on the left-hand side where it says Listing Documents, there's Listed, Under Contract, and Closed. So what I had to do is I had to create a compliance checklist and put in necessary placeholders for each of these stages in a transaction. So when a property is listed, whenever it goes under contract, these are the documents needed. Whenever it's closed, these are the documents that's needed. So you're able to click on it and you'll see, okay, all of this, it says what the document's named, if it's required, or if it's conditionally required, or if it's optional. So all of the documents that are required are at the very top. As you scroll down, there are some that are conditionally required, so if it's a lead-based paint. And then there's optional documents. So down at the bottom, there's optional documents that are labeled Disclosure 1, Disclosure 2, Disclosure 3, Amendment 1, Amendment 2, Counteroffer 2, 3, 4, all of that. I don't know how many disclosures you're going to have for each transaction, and I don't know what specific ones you're going to have. So that's why I just labeled them super generic. So if you have 3 disclosures, you can just upload each disclosure to a specific placeholder. If you need more, you can let me know and I can create more folders in a specific one for you. Yes, Trey?
So in .lib, she created templates,
Mhm.
gateway buyer templates, gateway listing templates. So when I create a loop or a room, I just click on it and everything is there. Will we be able to do that in DocuSign?
Like pre-filled, like with your license number?
I mean, it's almost completely filled out, like it's,
Yeah, eventually, it's not right now.
but we'll be able to make buyer documents and
Yeah.
have all the buyer documents in one click that they'll all go in.
Yes, so you can't mass load documents right now. So unfortunately, you have to go and add file to each specific one, but they're working towards more of a document format. However, there are a lot of people that have kind of pre-filled templates for their business. I talked to, I believe, Jen Gatton, and what she's going to do is she's going to create kind of a template that will never change on each transaction, save those as a PDF, and then she'll upload that into DocuSign specifically and update any other information she needed for the time being. So she knows, it's Carrie's name, it's Carrie's license number, so she can go ahead and fill that out for the most part, but she can't fill in some of the other stuff. So right now it's a little time consuming.
And on DocuSign, it's just gonna be the Missouri firms. All those GSBOI forms, they're not gonna be in there at all, or?
They will be eventually. So the first round, actually I had a conversation with my mouse coach a little bit ago. The first round that KWRI is doing is getting all of the state forms in. Once they get all 50 state forms in, then they'll go to each local board and start loading local board forms. I don't know when local board forms are gonna get loaded. However, we can still pull those from Transaction Desk. The big thing is the board doesn't care what we do with their forms. The big thing is what's coming from MAR and what we can use with those forms. And so that's why we're having to wait for them.
I guess the reason I was asking about the board forms is because are we supposed to be using the MAR employment forms starting right now, or can we still use the old employment?
You can still use the old employment forms. However, the placeholders I've created are for the specific MAR form. So the MAR employment agreement we are going to is replacing the designated agent and the employment of broker, basically. I've only created one placeholder, so if you're going to upload that, you're going to have to either scan both of them together for one PDF file and add it here, or add it somewhere maybe in an optional folder down at the bottom if you're using two forms.
And then on that new MAR form, I know this is not what we're talking about, but on the new MAR form, do we have to text Jim every time right now if we're using it and say, can you sign it? Because I sent it to him, he didn't sign it, I don't want to bother.
He signed a blank one for me yesterday. I just haven't had time to upload it, but it's just gonna be like the old form where it's already signed. I just have to add the date. Yep, for you. So that'll take some of it away. So just to confirm, for those of you that use the GSBR designated agent or employment forms, those are going to go away. We're going to use strictly MAR forms to stay consistent. Again, we use compliance. We hire a third-party company. It's never perfect. No one's ever perfect. So if you have issues with compliance, please let me know. That's the only way I can bring it to their attention, because we have two people that are assigned to our office, and they only tell me when files are complete or if there's issues with them. So if you have issues where a file is getting approved and one's not, let me know and I can talk with them. But I won't know unless you tell me. So just please communicate with that with me.
Rachel.
Yes.
So those who are strictly in an administrative role will not be linking up DocuSign at this time.
Correct.
But if they are like me, who I work administratively in buyer's agent, I'll go ahead and link mine.
Yeah.
But we only ever sign anything in Jessica's name. So if I need to sign her name to something, I need to log into her and sign it through her account.
Yeah, so that's a great point. So if you are an admin on a team, you can link your DocuSign account. I just don't know the capabilities of signing. So if something comes to sign, then you may have to go through the Rainmakers. Okay. So I'm not 100% certain on.
I just didn't want to link me or
You can
not,
link
and then
you.
mess
It's
up with
just whenever it comes to signing, I don't know how that's going to play out from your side. You may just have to use your Rainmaker side. Yeah. Great question. So if you guys have any questions on what is required, I do have, let's see. I'll kind of show you really quick the checklist that I have built out. So for instance, if I'm a listing, these are all the forms that I have listed. So the R's are required, and then we move down to conditionally required and optional. Again, if there's a placeholder in a certain opportunity that you need me to go through and add another placeholder, just email me and I can go in and add that. But all the forms or all the placeholders are listed from my side as I built it out. As we move through this process, I know it's not perfect. If you see anything, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense why that document's there. Can we move this placeholder over here? I can totally do that. I can add whatever else we need to. For instance, today I just added a green sheet placeholder. So this, I have the option to customize this. It's not a KWRI thing. So if you guys ever need anything, let me know. So in my opportunity, in DocuSign, they are called rooms, not loops. Not thrilled on that name. It's kind of weirds me out a little. Like, hey, can you go look at my room really quick and see what I need? Yeah. Just not a fan of it, you know. Just weird. So, whenever you're ready to link it up, you'll just click your opportunity. When you go to Documents, you'll click Start Transaction, and then it will take you to DocuSign. It'll open up a portal, and it'll ask you to type in your email and your password, and it'll open up your room. For some reason, my use incognito mode on this computer does not like me to do that, so let me go to this. So whenever I go to DocuSign here, it's going to pop up this, and it's going to ask me what my email is. It's going to ask you to enter your username, password. Oh gosh. And so then you'll know your DocuSign is linked to Keller Williams because it will have the Keller Williams logo over here on the left-hand side. So whenever you click Start Transaction, it will open up a specific room with this transaction that you've created in the opportunity. So since the forms aren't listed, they're pretty blank, so don't freak out if there's a lot you're missing on DocuSign because it's not really functional yet. However, some people are starting to create test rooms with different addresses and pulling docs in, so you're more than welcome to try with whatever capabilities you have.
That'll only be under contract or.
So whenever you've linked your DocuSign account, you go to Documents. Do you guys not have the Start Transaction button? After you created your account, did you go back to your settings and authorize your account where it says connected? Huh. Interesting. Click documents right there. Huh. Weird. Okay. Did you have to refresh your screen? Okay. I will make a note of that then. That's interesting. Okay. Well. Oh, okay. I'll have to look into that. Because if you haven't had this, maybe if you just linked your account, it may, which doesn't make sense, but I'll look into that to see. Theoretically, you'll be able to click Start Transaction and it will take you to that specific room. There is a video that Wim Oaks, I believe, posted on the internal page the other day on how to pull in your .loop documents to DocuSign. Another great resource, there's a gentleman named Marty Miller. He is out of the Loken Group, which is a large Keller Williams team out of Houston, Texas. If you go to YouTube and you type in his name, he does command challenges where he's basically letting everyone know the newest updates with command. So you're able to search for him and subscribe. So his most recent videos are moving documents from .loop to DocuSign and how to load and send off documents in DocuSign and KW Command. So this one's an 11-minute video and this is a 13-minute video. So I definitely recommend subscribing to him and following him because anytime he posts a video, you will get a notification that he's posted something. And some of the videos I have posted, I've literally just taken from him and just shared those. So
How do you get to him?
just go to YouTube and search Marty Miller, M-A-R-T-Y Miller.
Marty Miller.
Yep. And then you can click subscribe. That way, anytime he uploads something new. So this is he's done already a Command 66-day challenge, but since new updates came out, he started a new 66-day challenge. Today was day 66, so I'm hoping in the next couple weeks he'll start a new one as more information comes out. But yeah, so you're able to click more and you'll be able to see all of the different ones. And it's not just specific to opportunities or DocuSign or Dotloop, but it's on smart plans or lead accelerator and all of that within Command. So, or how to add them to a birthday smart plan, the video I shared probably last week. So really cool. Highly recommend following him. So whenever I theoretically submit documents, I'm ready to, whenever I get signatures for them, I will click add file. And so since I'm in incognito right now, it's not linking my DocuSign, but the options you will have are from manual, which is from your computer, or from DocuSign. So if you get documents signed in DocuSign, you can pull directly from those. And it will pull specifically those documents linked to that specific room and or loop, whatever you like to call. So if I, in 1234 Main Street, I have all these documents, it will only pull those specific documents for this specific transaction. Same way with others. Or if I save something as a PDF on my computer, I can click manual and upload a file. So if I want to find something that's been on here, I just bring it, and now I've assigned it to this specific placeholder. So you can see I have documents in here. Whenever I'm ready to submit, there is a button up here that says Submit to Market Center. Oh, man. So whenever you theoretically click Submit to Market Center, I will then get something through my side that's called Compliance Request that is pulling in all of the documents that have already been submitted through Command for Compliance. So whenever I click Review, I'll be able to review all the documents that you've submitted, and I'll be able to approve or reject them. If I approve it, great, it says approve. If I reject it, I have to add a specific note for the document. So I've approved it, move forward, and then I get this nice little approve button. If it's rejected, and I reject the document, and I put a file in here that's saying line 125, these initials, and I reject the document that way, you'll get a nice little rejected symbol over here. In Dotloop, how it had the message box, so it's like sometimes a paragraph long of corrections you need to make, and you have to take a picture of it so you can see it. I can just go scroll over and it will tell me what is needed on that specific document. So if I had 15 documents returned, I would just scroll over each of the note to know what each document needed. So then after I then go back into DocuSign to make my corrections and I upload it, I just click these three dots and click replace, and now I'm able to upload a new document. And it's asking, why are you re-uploading this document? And I'll say, you know, made corrections. And then it'll be resubmitted. Also, if I go through, there's also a version history. So if I've added the same document 8 times, I will be able to see what each of those versions look like each 8 times I've submitted it. So that's a great way for us to have a conversation, especially with agents that, if maybe there was 10 corrections and then they decided to upload a correction each time, it's like, okay, how about we make all those corrections at once and then submit it? So it's a great conversation piece. Now, all of these placeholders are for compliance. A lot of teams have their own checklist that they have, or sometimes agents like to download all email communication, save it as a PDF for their records. You're able to create your own custom folders on the left-hand side. So you just click Add Custom Folder, and I would say Team Cover Sheet. And I can create a folder and I can upload whatever I want to Team Cover Sheets or whatever it may be. So you can create all the different folders that you want for this transaction that doesn't need compliance review. But you cannot create new folders under the compliance section because these are only specific for compliance. Also, we are going to start requiring the measurement disclosure. Yep, so we're just trying to stay in line with all the other brokerages, and that's something that also is a placeholder here.
Rachel?
Yes.
With the custom folders, if you have a listing, can you create a folder for each offer item there, or is that in your?
That's a completely separate thing, yeah. So for offers, yeah, so great point, great segue. So I now started doing my listing documents, and right here over on the right-hand side, it will tell me where you're at in this process. So before, whenever you submit compliance, there was no way for us to see where you're at in the transaction. Like most of the time, none of you guys, I know, they would submit their documents after closing for all of it to be approved and then expect to get paid the same day. So, now we're able to see where you're at with this transaction.
Not us.
Yeah, so we're able to see if all these documents are approved, or if it's been resubmitted. But, so now I'm under contract. So I'm gonna take my opportunity. Wrong part. And I'm gonna go to my opportunities. And now I'm gonna say, okay, my active listing, we're now going under contract. I'll just drag and drop it over here. But say I want to enter in all my offers, because I don't know how most of you guys do it, but I think a lot of you write down each offer and kind of create a nice little sheet to send off to your sellers to show a comparison. You can now do an offer comparison inside of Command. Once it stops spinning. So you'll be able to enter in each of these offers, and you can create a sheet that you'll email to your sellers and say, here are the offers submitted, which ones do you like? And it's a side-by-side comparison of them. So here's my offers. I already have one selected and I've already accepted it, but let me go ahead and change my response, and I don't want to accept it. So I'm going to add a new offer. You can label this offer whatever you want. So I could say, offer. And create offer. Again, the only things that are required are the stuff that's in asterisks, but you can put the offer date. You can say, okay, they're offering it us today and they want to do a quick close, and we're going to close by the 30th of this month. Okay, the red stuff in asterisks is going to say, who is the buyer? We're going to say, Mr. Buyer. I can fill in the email, phone number, all of that if I want to. I can say if they're pre-approved or if they're pre-qualified, and then it's going to say, who is the co-broker? So I'm going to say, Andy Agent. Bless you. And then I just hit the terms. So again, none of this is required. However, if you want to do an offer comparison, you're going to want to enter in the majority of this information. So let's say he's going to offer me all cash, $250,000. Are they going to give me any earnest money, or is it going to be some cash, some finance? Is there an option fee? How many days buyer will give notice of termination within blank days after contract? Or is there any seller's concessions? And then you can do an agent analysis. What do you think is a pro about this offer? What's the con? And then here's a summary of it. And you're able to save it. So now I have two offers, and I want to compare them. I select all, and then I click compare offers. And it will give me a side-by-side of, okay, well, Mr. Buyer offered me $250,000 in cash, and this one only offered me $200,000. This is how much they financed, the earnest money, option fee. This is when they offered it, and this is when they closed. And any pros or cons are if they're pre-approved or pre-qualified. I can either download this, and if I want, or I can email this to my sellers, and I just put in their email address, the title, and any message. And I can also send it a copy to my email, so I can get a confirmation that's been sent. And if I want to add an attachment, I can, and I'll just send my offer, and they can receive that comparison. So once I get my offers back and I'm ready to select an offer, I will accept this one, because obviously it's 50,000 more, why not? So now I've accepted an offer. So just because I moved my opportunity to the under contract phase, my commissions tab is still going to be grayed out. But since I accepted an offer, I can now create a green sheet, because now we have an agreed upon price. So now that my commissions, which is formerly known as green sheets, it's now live, it's now available for me to create. Let me replace that, because that's not correct. You cannot submit your commissions yet. So right now you're still going to have to do green sheets the current way you're doing it. If we end dotloop on September 15th and you're not able to create a green sheet through dotloop, does everyone know how to create a green sheet through MyKW? Yes? Okay. MyKW.kw.com, technology green sheet, you can create a green sheet that way. However, it won't pull in the information like dotloop does when you create green sheets. You yeah, dotloop does it for you, however, this back way will not. So, pros and cons. So this is my commissions tab. It's gonna pull what my sales price is, what my commission percentage is, and then it's gonna calculate my commission. Say I'm doing a flat fee, I can go right here and I can change it to $5,000 and it will calculate my commission percentage for me. Or say I'm now taking 2.75% commission, it will now calculate that dollar amount for me as well. And for some reason, if you don't have it matching up to what you originally said, it will freak out and give you a red banner. So, just so you know. You're going to pay in full payments. Multiple payments is if you're doing a lease, so, and it's not live yet. Now it's gonna say this is the commission amount, and this is the date it's closing, and then it's gonna go agent breakdown. So since I'm the one creating it, it's automatically gonna default to me, the agent, receiving this commission. So if you're an admin, you may have to go through your Rainmaker portal to then create this screen sheet. If for some reason you're splitting units with somebody, you can adjust the units this way. If you're splitting units with somebody though, please come talk to me while you're splitting units, because I'd like to know why, but that's another conversation. That's another conversation. But say I have a buyer's agent, or I have a business partner, and we're splitting it 50-50, or whatever it may be. If I'm only taking $5,000 of this commission, and I have an extra $2,500 I need to give to another agent, one, it's gonna pop up this big red message of saying, you're not giving out all the commission money, and it says invalid over here, so I couldn't even submit the green sheet even if I wanted. What I need to do is add another agent. So at the very bottom, when you scroll down, there's an add agent button, and you're able to type in any agent that is within our brokerage and pay them the remainder of this commission. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna add Tori Hunt, and now here's her section, and I can give her the remaining money. So then it makes this system happy.
Well, those are right nice.
I know. Well, the reason they're not, and it gets a little confusing, is because now you are able to track your cap in real time. So previously, you either had to come tell us the most recent property address you created a green sheet on, so we can tell you how much you paid in, or you had to wait till your multi-year trends came out, and then you had to look from that previous month. So as we close transactions out, this will update in real time to let you know how much you paid in. So for me, this is my section right here, but now that I added Tori, if I keep scrolling, then here's her section right here. But I agree, Joy, it'd be really easier, it'd be nicer if they were together, so. And then here at the bottom, we have deductions. So all these deductions right here are Keller Williams International deductions. So whenever you were creating your green sheet, those red spaces that you had to put zeros in, even if you didn't want to donate, this is what they're for. However, do not worry about E&O, because we pay E&O on our agent billing every month. Some market centers do it on a per transaction basis. That's why it's listed there.
Is this still gonna be called a green sheet? So if I say Natalie, you create a green sheet, that's the name that's in.
It's going to be commissions, is what it's called. Yeah, but I mean, we're going to be calling loops, you know.
Rooms, loops.
Yeah, rooms, loops, but I don't know how, because I'm really against the name, but yeah. It's the same way. Or if I decide, heck no, I don't want Tori anymore, I can just click the trash can and she's away. If I need, so some agents charge a transaction fee or a bonus, or they need to do an outside referral, any of that. There's this add item button. Whenever you click add item, this screen pops up, and a bonus is your transaction fee, so if you charge that, click here. We don't handle any concessions here. If you wanted to do a deduction, that would be if you're donating to Springfield Cares, the local market center charity. Or if you're wanting to save money aside for family reunion, or you're wanting to put more money towards your office bill, you would then click deduction. Whenever you click deduction, it's gonna ask you for the amount and tax ID type, either a social security number or a tax or a business EIN, and their tax ID. Since you are doing a deduction to our office, it's okay if you put 9 zeros. I don't expect you to put in our tax ID number every time. If you want to, I love you and I'll give it to you. But I don't expect many people to put the tax ID number in. So if you just put 9 zeros in here, I'm perfectly okay with that, as long as you put a great description of where you want your money to go to. Don't care. Eventually, there will be a drop down that you're able to select the deductions we have in our system, and you're able to select those to go to allocate to that. If I'm doing an outside referral, I would do the same way. Add item, I would scroll down to outside referral, and then it would say, what's your referral percentage, the amount, tax ID. Now I do ask you put the tax ID in this for an outside referral, because we ask for your the W-9 anyway, so you have that information on a W-9. Again, here in the future, hopefully near future, you'll be able to do a drop down for this and select all the other brokerages we've ever paid out in our system. So you're able to kind of select from those, especially if you have a referral partner you use quite frequently. They're right there. And then you're able to add all the information in. So then, since I removed Tori and I'm taking all the commission now because it's all mine, I will update it, and this nice little red box will go away, and it will say submit to MCA, even though I can't technically click on it. So it say submit, but I can't click on it because it's not live yet. So right now, originally I've been saying running side by side between .loop and command. I would say more heavily now start focusing on command with .loop as like your crutch in an attempt that DocuSign's not going to be available. So starting September 15th, we're going to start doing more compliance out of command. Start uploading your documents into command. If your transactions are going to close this month, okay, still use .loop, that's fine. But after October 1st, we're doing all compliance out of command. So regardless if we're using .loop, DocuSign, if you're using Transaction Desk, whatever you're using, it all has to go into command for compliance, regardless of who's signing it. Yes?
So when I make a green sheet, I have a microwave, and then I download it, and then I add it to it. So I don't have to, I just do this, I don't have to add it to.
You still have to do it since this isn't live. So what you'll do is under contract, there's a green sheet placeholder. So whenever you download it and save it as a PDF, just add it this way.
So you do that.
Yeah. So run it side by side in that fact of filling out your green sheet, submitting it, but also filling out on commission, so you make sure you have a good understanding of how that. But when that goes live, you feel 100%. Yes, Natalie.
When is it gonna go live? Is it going live on September 15th, whenever, yeah, when it all goes away, or are we still just gonna keep doing green sheets until?
You're still going to do green sheets until further notice. What's happening September 15th is you can no longer create new loops in .loop, and compliance is going to be more heavily focused in command. October 1st, all compliance will be done in command. Green sheets, I've been told maybe 2 months. I don't know about that. They're wanting to get, I think they've come up with a lot more speed bumps in regards to DocuSign than they were expecting. Because normally they don't give us timelines unless they know they can hit it. So the fact they said September 15th and it's not happening, something must have really went wrong. So I'm hoping in 2 months, which I'm thankfully it's happening later on because all these changes would really freak everyone out. And it would be like a zoo in here, so.
Oh, it's not like.
Yeah, well, you know, some days it is. Yeah. Some days it really is. So, but yeah, so over here on the right-hand side, whenever you finish filling out your commission and or green sheet, here's a summary for you. So my total commission was $75,000. I'm going to pay $450 into
That's really good.
7,500. I'm talking way too much today. Which I never thought would be a weird thing. $450 will go to royalty. $2,250 will go to company dollar and or company currency. The reason it's called company currency is they were trying to keep the standard between US and Canada, but they're eventually going to change it to company dollar. I'm going to get paid $4,800. So if there was multiple agents, it would list our names and the amounts. And the total amount I'm paying to the office is $2,700. Just like what your green sheet would say, but this is a nice little snapshot for you. Okay, and then if I wanted to add any notes to the transaction, I can add notes here, and then there's a timeline for this. So again, as I go through the opportunity, and if I find out at some point in time after we accepted an offer, or I have an estimated close date, I can just go back through and update it this way, and just add a close date to it, and save it. So everything I know that's going to be closing this month, I'm able to go back to my opportunities homepage, whenever it loads. And whenever it goes back to the main homepage with all of our sales pipeline, when I scroll to the very bottom, it's going to show me everything that's closing this month. So I have a great understanding of what's happening. So you don't have to have those white marker boards in your office anymore if you don't want to. So kind of a fun thing. Yeah. And then once I started closing transactions, below this, it will start showing closed transactions. So the opportunities in the main home screen at the very bottom. Yeah, if you wonder what we're doing, I love paper planners, so that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay. Does anybody have any questions over opportunities? I know that was kind of a lot of compliance. Does anybody on the Zoom call have any questions? If you do, you need to unmute yourself because I can't see you. Oh, there's some. Okay, great. Paulina, I'm confused about the dates. I have one under contract that closes October 15th. Does that mean I need to move it to Dotloop? Me, I don't have a voice. Hi, Paulina. I hope you're feeling good. Because you have it closing on October 15th, yes, you need to start moving that into command. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to pull those documents over one by one. But you, at least as long as they're approved, that's awesome because it's one less thing you're gonna have to, it's one time submitting it for compliance. So anything closing out October 1st, yeah, go ahead and start putting it into command. Okay, got it. You're welcome. Does anybody else, anyone on Zoom have any questions about adding a contact and or creating opportunities, compliance? No? Awesome. Okay, well if you do, just send me a question or I can just unmute yourself, click the microphone, and it will come through. Okay, does anybody have any questions in here?
On DocuSign, so it's asking for an association on the dropdown, and our association not in there yet, I couldn't find it unless I was.
Yeah, I don't think it's all linked in there yet. So, I know I mentioned this a couple times. Dotloop, if you had a husband and wife, you had to have an email for each person. In DocuSign, you do not have to. So, if it's the same email, what you'll do is you'll assign them a specific code. So I may give the husband a code of 111 and the wife a code of 112. So whenever they receive the email, they type in their code and it takes them to the specific areas they have to sign. Whenever you assign the code, it also has a message box to put like a small message in there, to not put the code in there, because they don't get the message until after they put the code in. So you'll have to send them a separate text or email saying, hey, this is your code to log in to access your documents. The message may be more of what the document is about that they're signing. But yeah, a lot of DocuSign isn't ready yet, so that's really unfortunate. I can't answer too much about that, but I've been watching Marty's videos, hoping it will kind of give me a good understanding of it.
You know how to, mine is saying, I only have one step left to start using DocuSign command authorize. I've already got the app downloaded in my command, and it just takes me to that.
Did you authorize it on your email? So whenever you created your account, it sent you an email to then add your password to it, and then you'll go back to your settings and click authorize, and it will link it together.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, girl.
How do I get DocuSign on my phone?
There's an app for it. DocuSign is just a regular app, and then you'll just use your email and password you associated with your account, and it's all the same.
Okay. And no specific notes, DocuSign.
Correct. Just DocuSign app. Yep.
So,
Yeah. Go ahead.
sorry, so once the documents are all loaded up, will I be able to converse with my clients through Kelly? Like as far as signing documents, now I have a Dotloop app and I can just do it so much fun. Can I do that? Will I do that through Kelly or will I do that through the DocuSign app?
Well, I guess it depends on what point of the transaction. So whenever you use Kelly, any sort of communication you have with your clients will automatically log it to their contact in command. If it's in terms of signing, you'll have to do that through DocuSign. But if it's in terms of anything else, you'll do it through Kelly. But when you go to your Kelly, on the very bottom, there's a button that says command. If you click command, it will open up your command for you through your phone. Eventually, whenever the consumer app comes out, which I'm hoping it's this year, it's going to link all three, and basically it'll be like a messaging service through your Kelly and their consumer app. Paula, I moved from Dotloop the way Wim's video shows, and it worked perfectly. Awesome. Thanks, Paula, for that feedback. So yeah, so watch Wim's video, or Marty Miller is who we got it from, on how to bring your Dotloop files already into DocuSign for you. It's super easy. You just basically, you'll create an email in DocuSign and tag that into your Dotloop, and it will pull all those documents over for you. It's an 11-minute video, and it's super simple. Thank you, Paula, for that. Great things about Kelly, if I'm talking with a client and I get their information, I want to add a contact through Kelly, it will add them into command. So all you have to do is type add contact, enter it in. If, for instance, I add them in my Kelly, but don't get them added into my iPhone contacts and they call me, it will still pop up with their name because you've added it in. It's all in together. It's a quick step for you. What other questions does everyone have? Does anyone have any questions? The main things are get your contacts into command. Whatever transactions you have going on right now, start putting them into command. into opportunities and start relying on command more than you are on dot loop, just so you understand the quirks to it. Create some dummy loops so you have those as backup. I'm hoping to get a confirmation from the KWRI today of if I need to purchase dot loop, but we will not leave you hanging. So either we're gonna purchase dot loop for 3 months or this form will be DocuSign. That's how it's gonna happen. Yes, Debbie?
The compliance, is it the same company? So you know it's gonna do it? Okay.
Yep, so it's still Retransex, they're out of St. Louis, and they have access to our account and they're already starting to work on that too. Yep. Does anyone have any other questions? We're only an hour in, so this is awesome. I know I talked fast, but wow. Yeah. I will be out of office for majority of next week, so if you guys need anything, please feel free to call, email, or text. I just won't be here in the office. As we go through this transition, obviously I'm just asking for patience because it's not perfect. This command will never be perfect. There's never an end to it. Gary Keller is always going to build onto it, so it's just a journey. So, you know, when we look back at Kelly last year, it was completely like terrible and everyone hated it and bashed it. Totally get it, but it's made so many advancements now. And so that's the same with command. So it's going to be a little stressful at the very beginning. And as we go through this transition, if you guys need anything, let us know, or if there's any questions on compliance or opportunities, it's all through there. Let me see if I can go back to here. But yeah, so if you have your contacts in, check your database health score, reach out to all your clients, then enter in all your opportunities. Okay. Well, if anyone doesn't have anything else, then we'll just end it early, but you're here for another hour if you have questions. Okay, awesome. Well, if you guys don't have anything else, thank you for spending your time with me. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you for sharing with us. Yes.
Over and into
Okay, thanks everyone for coming in on Zoom. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.